Hello and welcome to Mags and Tillis, and today I want to talk about the iron head oil transfer valve and what it actually does. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this valve, of what it does and what it doesn't do. And I'll talk from my own experiences as what this transfer valve does. And I'll go from there. Now, when your bike sits a long time and the oil begins to sump into the bottom of your crankcase, it begins to fill up until it reaches your oil transfer valve. Now that oil transfer valve is going to let that sumping oil in your crankcase to overflow into your primary, and your motor oil will then begin to mix with your primary oil. Okay, now say in the springtime you go out there and your bike has been sitting for a long time and you check the oil inside your oil tank and it seems to be about a quart low. Well, that has sumped down inside your crankcase and has reached your oil transfer valve, and it's started to overflow and begin to mix with your primary oil. Now when you go check your primary oil, and you're going to find that your primary oil is overfilled with over a quart of your engine oil. Okay, and what you're going to have to do, probably you're going to drain it and put fresh oil in, or you're simply going to start the motorcycle. Okay, now when you start the motorcycle, what's going to happen is that your flywheel is going to begin to scavenge all that sumped oil in your crankcase, and it's going to scavenge all that excess oil back up into your oil tank again. So whatever overflow that is left in your primary is going to backflow through your oil transfer valve back inside the crankcase, and again your flywheel is going to pick that extra oil up and it's going to scavenge it right back into your oil tank. So all of a sudden you have a full oil tank again. And that's how that oil transfer valve is supposed to work. Now it also serves as an air vent as well. Now say when your piston goes up, it's going to create a negative pressure in your crankcase. Okay, now that negative pressure, from what I understand, is going to open up the transfer valve and let the excess oil in your primary begin to flow back inside the crankcase, which again will be scavenged by your flywheel and be pushed up into your oil tank again. Okay, now when your piston comes down, it has a positive air pressure inside your crankcase, and that is going to again open up your transfer valve and let a little oil flow back inside the primary from your crankcase. Okay, and so this valve just allows oil to go back and forth from the bottom of your crankcase into your primary, and then from your primary back into the crankcase, and all the while that your flywheels are scavenging excess oil in the bottom of your crankcase right up into your oil tank again. Now again, the oil transfer valve serves as an air vent as well, and it diverts positive and negative pressure in your crankcase back and forth to your primary and your crankcase, and also your transmission cavity. And this is the reason why that I run 60 weight oil, straight 60 weight oil, in my motor and my primary. So they mix, and it's not a problem. So I don't have a different oil in my primary as I do in my engine. So I always run 60 weight in both my engine oil and my primary, so they're both compatible with each other. Now I've never taken one of these oil transfer valves apart to see how they're actually made, but they are called a valve. So what does a valve do? It opens and then it closes. Okay, and so I would one day like to take one of these transfer valves and actually dissect them to see how they actually work and how they are actually made. because from what I understand, it's simply not an overflow screen where oil just kind of flows back and forth inside the screen here from your primary to your crankcase. Here's a diagram taken from the official Harley-Davidson manual. It shows the oil pump and the oil pump check valve right there. And as I said, when your bike sits a long time, it begins to sump oil, and the oil seems to run from your oil tank, and it goes past that oil check valve, which does not seem to seat properly, so it lets oil sump past that oil check valve and ends up in the bottom of your crankcase. And then from your crankcase, it fills up enough to reach your transfer valve, and then once it does, it flows through your transfer valve, and that extra oil that is sucked seeps into your primary and is going to mix with your primary oil. Now here's another diagram of the oiling system taken from the official Harley-Davidson manual. You can see that the flywheel right there is picking up scavenged oil, and it's going to throw it right back up into your oil system and to the top of your oil tank right there. And then there's the overflow valve there on the right hand side. And as I said, when you have too much oil sumped into the bottom of the crankcase, it reaches the bottom of the overflow transfer valve and starts to begin to flow into your primary oil and mixes with that. And as you start the motor, the flywheel begins to scavenge the overflow oil in your crankcase and pushes that back up into your oil tank. And also from the negative pressure caused by the piston going on the upward stroke is going to in turn open up your transfer valve and let any excess oil flow from your primary back into your crankcase, which will be scavenged from the flywheel and will be forced up into your return line and will begin to fill up your oil tank. And that's the way that oil transfer valve is designed to work, from my understanding. Now, some of you guys may be running a belt drive instead of a chain drive, and many, I have heard, will block off that oil transfer valve. Now, some say that from actually doing that it decreases the horsepower from the engine. I don't know, but this is what I heard back and forth. So if some of you guys would like to chime in on this and offer your own ideas on how exactly this oil transfer valve works, so I would encourage anyone out there to go ahead and chime in, leave a comment down there, and as to your understanding is and how this oil transfer valve works on these old iron heads. Now, I heard that they stopped using these, I believe, in the 1976 models. I'm not sure. So go on ahead and leave your comments down there and offer your opinions on how these oil transfer valves work, and share what you know about these. After all, that's what this channel is all about. It's about sharing information back and forth and about teaching each other. So I hope you guys do kind of chime in on this particular topic. So once again, thank you for watching Mags and Tillison, and I hope you subscribe. And again, leave your comments. So don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. You take care of yourselves.